Comebacks, overtime, and upsets. Big 12 football saw it all in the opening weekend of conference play. Welcome in to Inside the Big 12, everybody. I'm your host, Morgan Uber. Kansas State at Oklahoma was supposed to be a revenge game for the Sooners. Last year, the Wildcats handed Oklahoma its only regular season loss. Some way, somehow, 2 years in a row, the Wildcats pulled off yet another wild spoiler. And get this year they did it down 6 starters, 3 on each side of the ball. Kansas State head coach Chris Klieman became just one of 3 Big 12 head coaches to defeat Oklahoma in his first 2 meetings during the Bob Stoops Lincoln Riley era. This 2020 matchup between Kansas State and Oklahoma featured a new offensive weapon for the Wildcats, true freshman running back Deuce Vaughn. Vaughn had 174 all-purpose yards against the Sooners. He's a dynamic playmaker who has abilities as both a runner and receiver. In fact, he became the first Kansas State running back in 50 years to have over 100 yards receiving. Not even former K-State running back Darren Sproles, who set 23 school records, accomplished that feat. It was the 5'5" true freshman running back that made the difference in the game for the Wildcats. I now have the pleasure to welcome K-State running back Deuce Vaughn into the Big 12 studio. Deuce, down 21 on the road against number 3 Oklahoma. How did this team keep up this unwavering confidence?
Really, we just kept encouraging each other on the sideline. Every single chance we got, we started taking play-by-play, possession by possession. Whenever we finished the play, it was on to the next one. And Skylar Thompson, our O-line, just as a team, we never faltered whenever we went down. We never got too high whenever we got into our streak. We never got too low whenever we went down. And we just knew we went play-by-play, possession by possession, and weren't worried about our assignments. And what we had to do, we have a good chance of winning the game.
You mentioned your quarterback, Skylar Thompson, leading on the sideline. He also led this team on the field and led you to that 77-yard catch and run that set this team up for the touchdown. How was that play really a momentum changer for your team?
Big time momentum. I feel like that was kind of a spark, especially with Keon Mosey and his big play as well. That was a spark for our offense, 2 big plays right there. And we just kind of got clicking. And whenever we were in the huddle or on the sideline, we're like, okay, we got this. We're going to get rolling. We're going to get going. And then with Skylar, he's the leader of men. And that's one thing I'll tell you about him. He leads this offense and this team. He's the biggest factor in all of it. And he's unbelievable. That's my man. That's my guy.
During that fourth quarter, he was limping around a bit, struggling with the right calf. How much did you feed off of his grit that he displayed on Saturday?
Oh, 100%. Because he would come into the huddle, he'd grimace a little bit, but then he called the play and it was time to go. And that right then, I was like, he's fighting for us, so we have to absolutely fight for him. And whenever he was knocked in, we could pick him up. Whenever we got knocked down, he picked us up. That's exactly what you want in a quarterback right there, somebody that's going to fight for you every single down, every single play, every single possession. Without a doubt, he's one of the toughest guys I've ever met in my life.
After an upset win like this, what's the energy been like at practice the past couple of days?
We're just getting back to work. We had a big time win against Oklahoma, but as soon as you get your 24 hours in, and then whenever you get back on Monday, you watch the film, you can correct what you need to correct, and get back on the field like you're going to go play against them again. Because Texas Tech's a really good team. We're have to be on our P's and Q's if we want to win this game. It's the Big 12. Everybody has a good team. Everybody's fast. They can fly around. Anybody can win a ball game on Saturday. So we just have to get back to work. Can't get too high on the win. We just say even kill. We have to do exactly what we did during that bye week and the week leading into OU, and we have to get ready for Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, they have a very explosive offense, and last week after scoring just 7 of your 38 points in the first half, how much of an emphasis has been placed this week at practice on getting out to a faster start?
Absolutely, get out to a faster start is going to be something that we have to do because we can't get behind like we did against Oklahoma every single week. We have to bring that explosive play from number 1 all the way through. And that's just talking about play-by-play, possession by possession, taking it one play at a time, and just trying to get out to a better start, which we're working on and everything. Just making sure we stay in front of the sticks, whether that be first down, get 4 yards, 6 yards instead of losing some getting 2, and just making sure that we clean up some penalties and stuff like that, keep us on the field. And then we want to keep our defense off the field as well by running the ball efficiently and hard. And we can keep our defense off the field and make sure that they are rested. We don't give Texas Tech a whole bunch of time to get their offense going and running because they have to go fast, and score a lot of points, and we'll have a good chance of winning.
Deuce, we're just 2 games in, but there's been a lot of comparison made by fans and college football analysts between you and former K-State running back Darren Sproles. What do you make of the comparison?
That's those comparisons are oh my goodness, so humbling just to be mentioned in a sentence with Darren Sproles. He's one of the best to ever do it, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer for not too long. And I mean, just being mentioned with him is crazy. I mean, right now I'm trying to blaze my own path and be Deuce Vaughn, but if I can have any type of success that he had, I mean, that'd be crazy.
You're listed just at 5'5", which is much of the reason why there's that comparison made. How do you use your height to your advantage?
So I've always been the smallest person on the field ever since I played football, and I feel like my size has allowed me to be elusive laterally, acceleration and stuff like that. I just use it to my advantage, whether that's being low to the ground and being able to absorb contact and make sure that I'm not taking big hits, hiding behind the line and then squirting out through a small hole and everything. But just as it's gone along, as I've gotten older, I've kind of started using it as my superpower. That's what my dad and I always talk about. Is it's my superpower. You can't look at something that you can't control and say, "Man, I wish I was 3 inches taller. I could do this. I could do that." And think what you have and go say, "I can do this. I can do that. I can do everything under the sun if I just put my mind to it."
You mentioned your dad, Chris. You've been in a unique position being around the game a lot earlier than most, having him been a Division I assistant coach and now a scout for the Dallas Cowboys. What's the biggest thing that you learned from your father that you're now applying here for the K-State football program?
Just having to love the process of football. I feel like he's always told me there's going to be a lot of guys that love Saturday, love to play the 60 minutes, but it's about those hours that you put in from Monday to Friday and even on Sunday, whether that's recovery. That's going to make you great on that Saturday and make the game slow down, whether that be diving into film or getting your recovery and just making sure that you're on your P's and Q's whenever it comes to make sure you're ready for the game. And I've really dove into everything, just love the process of football because Saturday is just 10% of the 100% that you have to put in whenever it comes to being successful at this level.
Deuce, you're named after your father, Chris. At what point did people start calling you Deuce? How'd you get the nickname?
So really it was immediately. My mom, as soon as I was named Chris and I was the second, so her side of the family started calling me Junior, and she was like, "Nope, that's not going to cut it." So she was Deuce for two. And I mean, ever since then, she's called me Deuce. Families called me Deuce. And before I knew it, before I got into football, everyone was okay, Deuce, Deuce. And before I knew it, the nickname kind of overtook my name. And now every time I step up to the field, it's been Deuce.
And now it's very fitting at Kansas State. You've showed the deuce is loose, a great little rhyme there that the fans and I'm sure your teammates have been saying to you lately. Well, Deuce, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you and your team on Saturday against Texas Tech.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The Wildcats will face Texas Tech at home on Saturday. The Red Raiders are coming off of a 63-56 overtime loss to number 8 Texas. Expect the Red Raiders to come out red hot after giving up a 2-touchdown lead with just over 3 minutes to play. Texas Tech head coach Matt Wells said that his team has been using the Texas loss as inspiration and a springboard into next week. Third downs have been a bright spot on both sides of the ball for the Red Raiders. With quarterback Alan Bowman, they lead the Big 12 in third down conversions. They're 18 of 31. Defensively, they really made some big improvements after the Week 1 win against Houston Baptist. When you just look at the Texas game, the Longhorns, they were 5 for 16 on third downs. There's just 3 undefeated teams now left in the Big 12. 2 of them kick off at 11 a.m. Let's take a look at the full Saturday schedule. The unbeaten Baylor Bears, they head to Morgantown to take on West Virginia. The 2-0 Texas Longhorns host TCU. The Horned Frogs, they have the Longhorns number. They've been 6-2 since they joined the Big 12. Oklahoma State, they travel north to Lawrence to face Kansas. And Iowa State is set for prime time in Ames. The Sooners, they haven't lost back-to-back games since 1999. That was head coach Bob Stoops' first season. Oklahoma, they know how to bounce back. Will this year be any different? There's plenty of great storylines to watch for this Saturday. Enjoy your 10-plus hours of Big 12 football, and I'll see you back here next week.